Welcome to selfdiscoveryradio.com, where the orchard of wisdom is just ready for picking. We celebrate your why, the journey that you've taken that inspires someone else. We support your services, we support your story. Come and be our guest, become a host, be an author with us. Come and see what we've got. Our next show is...
So we are recording now, and welcome everyone. Sarah, I love your first greeting. You're beautiful when you say it, so I'll give it back to you.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Channeling Ascensions. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, with my co-host, Christina Hill, her beautiful entity, Athella, who will come in at any time. You'll see Christina suddenly change voice, and our wonderful guest, who I've interviewed before, Michel, Pascal. Beautiful soul. We're going to be talking about channeling meditation today, but we've already had a pre-conversation, and it's like, we've got to get this show going. There's too much wonderful information pouring out of us here right now. But we're going to be talking about vibration, the vibration of how we eat, how we speak, how we look at things, what we feed. And also we're going to be talking about, how do you meditate? Is it just a question of cross-legged sitting on the floor, or is it something else? He's done some wonderful meditations en masse with people. You did do one in Times Square, I believe. And he's been at Carnegie Hall. We've got a beautiful thing to finish out with you today with him, with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Whoa! Are you sitting back, folks? Because... this is recorded, and you're so happy that it is, because you're going to have to listen to it over and over again, because there's mountains of knowledge going to be coming your way today, and I hope you're ready for it. Here we go. Hello, Michel. Welcome back to the show.
Hello, Michel.
Hello, Sarah. Hello to each of you. And I am so happy to be with you, to have the chance to share about meditation, because I think we have no choice. We need to be calmer.
Yes.
I mean, there is no other discussion. We need to be calmer, especially in our stressful world, because when we are stressed, we destroy our life. So for me, there is nothing to talk. just accept to be calmer. So for me, the question is, how can we be calmer? Not when we go in a quiet place, not when we go in a monastery where I lived before, but how can I be calmer in my daily life?
Yeah.
Because when my brain is running all time, for example, when I am stressed, I have a very high level of cortisol in my brain. We know that in neuroscience since 20 years and more. And cortisol, this is the hormone in the brain who destroy immediately our body. For example, we destroy our immune system immediately with cortisol. We destroy immediately our heart. For example, we see on a scanner, when you see the heart of someone stressed at 40 years, for example, the heart seems sometimes like 75 or 80 years. And the person is just 40 years. Because with the stress, with the cortisol, we destroy the arteries around the heart. So this is the same for people who have cancer. We know very well that cortisol stress, brain running all time, destroy immediately the cell's natural killer, the famous antioxidant. So stress destroys totally our body.
Yeah.
Stress destroys totally our mind. Because we know in neuroscience again, and I work a lot with Professor Gary Schwartz, the best neuroscientist of America. So we know that when we are stressed, for example, when our brain is running all time, we can have Alzheimer or Parkinson so soon. So we destroy our brain, we destroy our body, we destroy our clarity. Yes. Our mind is confused. We are unable to see clearly a situation. So for me, there is no debate. Stress is the first causality of death. Stress is the first causality of all our problems in life, love problem, money problem, any problem come from stress, because stress creates the mental confusion in our mind.
Yeah. I want to just piggyback on top of what you have said, Michel. It is glorious, this light that you're shining on this. It's so simple. When we boil down to it, it's the stress that we're experiencing throughout the day, or even if it's a small amount, even if you've gotten, your meditation practice well underway and you feel like, things are flowing fairly smoothly, your vibration changes when those stressors, those triggers come in, and the stress is caused by the thinking.
Of course, 10 years ago, I make a book with His Holiness Dalai Lama. So we have co-written a book and I took the picture. And in the first chapter, Dalai Lama wrote that we think too much for nothing. Yes. And this is the causality of 90% of any suffering.
Thinking has become an addiction, I would say.
It's interesting what you say. Because
yes, I agree with you. Too much of the food.
Very important what you say, because I teach all time, when I teach for Google or when I teach for the prisoners or for many people, every emotion, it's an addiction. Every emotion is an addiction. To be more precise, can say that every emotion, it's a neurochemical addiction. So we know, for example, that if you are stressed today, tomorrow you will be more stressed, because the brain needs to feed the neurochemical addiction to the cortisol. But if you are quiet, happy, stable today, you will be more happy, stable tomorrow and next year, because the brain needs to feed the serotonin and the dopamine in the brain, the hormone of the well-being. So for me, there is no debate. The question is not if we need to be stressed or calm. Of course, anyone, we know that. And it's interesting to see that science proves what we know, for example, in Buddhism since 3,000 years. So the question for me, it's not that. The question is, how can I be less stressed? Yes. How can I be calmer? This is the main question. And I am and you to be in your show, because when I came from Himalayas to America, I was so surprised to see that in America we have a wrong perception of meditation.
Oh gosh, yes.
When I ask to people what means meditation, everyone say hum, like that. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yes.
It's very interesting because when I was in my monastery in Nepal, in Kopan monastery, Kopan is one of the biggest monastery in Nepal. Every Saturday morning, the monastery was open to the public. And many American people, they come from Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, because they have the dream to enter in a monastery. And after 2 minutes, all time, they were disappointed because they say, we don't understand. You don't do hum all the time. And me and my friend monks, we say, we never do that. We never do that. So it's interesting to see that in America, we are educated with a cliché of a meditation that we don't practice in a monastery. Very interesting.
No, I mean, it's, we discussed this in the last show, which I do invite people to go back and listen to, please. But, meditation is a state of being, isn't it? It's a peace of heart and mind. And we're always saying, Christina, how people are stuck up in their heads. And I say they're not using all their other cylinders, the soul, the heart, the spirit. Everything is this treadmill dialogue going around and around and around. We get stuck up in there, and it's information overload. It's not your knowingness. The soul, the heart, the spirit connection to knowing what you need to know when you need to know it is all you need to know. But we've got this obsession with the more knowledge I have, the better I will be. But you can't carry that amount of knowledge in your head without being able to switch it off and going into that state of peace. Otherwise, you'll never understand what that knowledge is about. I know this is something that you teach a great deal, Christina.
Yes, Athella has been my master, ascended master, really, since the inception of Athella.org, which is a philanthropy organization now, but also we bring people into retreats, and they likewise, I have to agree with you, Michel, there's a lot of mental noise about the ideas of what meditation are, and that is all mind stuff. It's all mind created, and ego loves this too. Ego will, the quote unquote most spiritual people coming in with a lot of spiritual ego, and then even then, blocking themselves to a freedom that could be very simple, is very immediate. And isn't that great that you're naming all of these points to how destructive the stress can be and is. But isn't it wonderful, though, that we can literally stop the train? We can get off the train. We can literally, it's within seconds, we can start to retrain our brain, to resculpt our brain, and that this is actually possible. A lot of people, I think, they also have this idea of enlightenment, and that there has to be a certain prescription, a certain amount of time that's spent, or it's difficult, all these mental ideas, when in fact it's simple. It's here and now, and it's literally coming out of the head, or at least observation of what's going on in the mind, just being very aware and observing,
present,
feeling. Yes. And we have all these labels, and we like to complicate things and make it all, here we are on the show talking about it. But if we simply move into being and we become aware of our beingness, I'm going to use one word from Eckhart Tolle, the suchness of this moment. And we're not denying what's happening either. I had someone recently tell me, well, isn't that negating or denial when you're living in the now and all this? You're avoiding. No, you're actually more alive and more aware. It's the opposite. Mm-hmm. Simply it's like what we're talking about here, the being state, it gets covered up by our head.
But the question for me, it's exactly as you say, Christina. The main question is how to meditate. Mm-hmm. But before that, there is another question for me. What means meditation? So mm-hmm. I was surprised when I came from Himalayas in America, because first I discovered that many yoga teachers or meditation teachers are so stressed.
Yes.
They talk a lot. They talk a lot. And there is another main difference. The main difference is, and especially in Buddhism, when we come from a monastic life, we come from a lineage. So in my case, me, for example, I was not officially monk because I wanted to be in the daily stress to help people every day, but I took refuge. So the refuge in Buddhism makes all the difference in meditation. Sure. I explain to you. The refuge means in Buddhism, in our life, there is a moment when we are ready. We meet our Rinpoche. Rinpoche in Tibetans means precious. It's our master, but it's more than a master. It's the person probably the most important in our life. So my Rinpoche, his name is Chepa Dorje Rinpoche, was the last descendant of Marpa. If you know Buddhism, Marpa was the first disciple of Siddhartha, of the Buddha, to write the teaching. So Marpa was the first disciple of Siddhartha. He has a son, the son has a son, has a son, and the last one was Chepa Dorje Rinpoche, my Rinpoche. So one day, my Rinpoche said to me, Michel, I think time is ready to take your refuge. So refuge means, of course, an engagement, but more than that. There is a moment the Rinpoche gives to us, like in science we will say an atom of his energy, a seed of his energy. He makes a special practice, and we receive a vibration. We receive a seed of peace. And every time we pray, we meditate, just I talk about his name, It's like I put water on the seed, and the seed bloom, bloom, bloom. And like that, we share the powa. The powa in Tibetan means transfusion of consciousness. So we give a vibration to the person. So this is the main difference, because, sorry to say that, but for a celebrity, for a manager at Google, as I teach, for a prisoner, for a child who have ADHD or child who want to suicide, we cannot say to a person, oh, my friend, you are stressed, you must be present, you must take a deep breath, you must be like this, you must be. It doesn't work. We cannot talk to someone's stress. So what can we do? We can tune the person. This is exactly the difference between an authentic lineage, like in Buddhism, and the usual meditation that we find in America. It's not a technique, it's not a talk, it's a vibration. We tune the person, and the person immediately feel calmer.
I think this is a perfect moment. Sorry to cut you off, Michel, but I just feel thrilled for us to invite this vibrational shift for our listeners.
I can guide you, and to all the people who follow you, a short meditation, very simple, as I do just after you. I teach for prisoners. I will be in jail. I love to go in jail. And just before to guide you, I want to say something to you. One day, a prisoner said to me, Michel, if you say to me, be present in your life, take a deep breath, do this, do that, you are not respectful. You don't know what is my life. So me, when we give tips, advices, it's easy, baby, because we don't live the life of the person.
Right.
So
we're not in their turmoil.
Exact. So it's not to talk, it's to tune. So I can do with you together, and I am so happy, Christina, to be with you and to be with you, my Sarah. So it's so simple. I can guide you in 1 minute meditation as we do. Okay? I snap 3 times, and just we close our eyes. We are sitting down in a comfortable position. We do nothing. Just we are sitting down in a comfortable position. If we have some thought in our mind, we do nothing. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They move. So we can meditate like a wind when we have some thought, to push the thought, the clouds in our mind. So we visualize our mind. Our mind is like a sky. Many thoughts, many clouds. We breathe in like a wind. We keep our breath, we keep the wind, and we push the thought. And immediately we feel calmer. Our mind is like a sky. We can do it again, a last time. We see our mind is like a sky. Many thoughts like clouds in the sky. We breathe in like a wind. We keep our breath, we keep the wind, and we push the cloud. And immediately we feel better, quiet. Our mind is like a sky. And we open our eyes slowly. We see around us, the color seems more real. If we touch our fingers, the sensation is more real. How do you feel, Sarah?
Connected. For me, actually, the going up into the universe is my win to talk all the time about breath, about exiting oneself and lightening up and stepping into that beautiful everything and nothingness of space. And it's the same of being that fluffy cloud in the sky. It's weightless. It takes everything off, and you just suddenly just go like a cloud across the sky, just in a beautiful soft moment, without any burden, without any heaviness. And you can just let go, and you can come back to that space where everything about you, even your arms, just feel maybe like they would be in space. You know, that nothing feels weighted down anymore, which is beautiful. And that's the state we need to be in so much more.
How do you feel, Christina?
I think we're going to have Athella coming on here.
I was just going to say the words to me are secondary, maybe even at the last of the line, to the feelings. I really don't want to interrupt this flow. So I would also like for us to perhaps continue for a few more minutes on and gift our audience with more of this. This is rich. It's pulsing.
But it's very important what we say, because in a monastery, we realize that all is meditation. There is not a time to meditate and a time to be stressed or to work. No, this is the same time.
State of being.
Peace, it's like oxygen. Anytime, anywhere, we need peace. We need to be calmer. Yes. So, especially in a stressful world, when people say all the time, I am busy, in meditation for daily stress, we don't lose time to meditate. We use the time to meditate. We use any situation. For example, we are at the workplace. We are facing our computer. It's a wonderful moment to be calmer. We are in the traffic. Me, I teach a lot for Uber. So what we do with Uber drivers, we don't go in a mindfulness room, yoga, etc. Not at all. We go at the rush hour on the freeway in Los Angeles.
To be with it.
To be calmer in the daily stress.
Yes.
So the monastery...
The calmness in the chaos, yes.
The monastery is in our mind.
Yeah.
The monastery is in our mind.
And it never ends. As you say, the continuity is a churning wheel. It never ends. The only time that we create the end and the beginning is, of course, in our minds. And also with the time. The time with which we don't have to, that's a mental construct as well. We can be in our timeless, formless realm, in our reality. Some people think that's too far out there, but as you have just pointed out, Michel, you can be driving and this is your meditation. You are stepping, you are walking, this is the meditation. I mean, it can flow with your full attention to it, rather than, I mean, we do have choice. We can live in the imaginary ego shadow world, which is usually a lot of fear in there, or we can live in real time, now time, and we can be with whatever it is. And just notice, for me, it's also about noticing the storyline around certain things. So noticing as the thoughts rise up, the story telling me about what this is good, what this is bad, you know, and the story. Does that make sense?
For me, I mean, it's funny, when I came from Himalayas to America, I was surprised first to see how people speak so fast. So fast. And especially people in spirituality. I have a funny story. One day I was with the Dalai Lama in his monastery. When we do the book, I saw he watched CNN. And on CNN, there is a sort of pastor, I don't know exactly. The guy say, you must be yourself. You must believe in God. And we know Dalai Lama suddenly says something so funny. Dalai Lama, he say, I don't know very well Jesus, but I cannot imagine he was stressed.
Right, right.
So, I mean, it's so important. Again, the question is, how can we be calmer? So the answer, it's not to talk, it's to tune with the vibration. This is exactly the power. Because when we guide the meditation, we enter in another state of consciousness.
A channeling.
So the voice change. Me, I am singer, so I use the voice every day. So we are in another state of consciousness. And I have an amazing story that I want to share with you. A few weeks ago, a mommy brings me her daughter. She's 9 years old. She's so violent at school. She's so stressed, so violent. So the teacher at school, they don't know what to do. So the mommy, she bring me the daughter. She said, Michel, what can we do with my daughter? I saw Diana, this is her name. She was like that, full of stress. And I never ask any question to her. I don't ask, what's happening to you? Tell me. No. Because in neuroscience, we know that the more you talk about the suffering, the more you active the region of the brain associated to the traumatism. So I said to Diana, we can meditate like a mountain together. I have snapped 3 times. She closed her eyes. And at the end of a few minutes, I say, Diana, how do you feel? She said, I feel calm. I love that. And I have trained Diana every day. And after 3 weeks, Diana, she's never violent.
No.
And she come at school and she said to all the friends at school, my friends, I love you. I'm so apologize. And now I am calm. I am happy.
Oh.
She stepped into a harmony vibration. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
because there's a beautiful harmony of a resonance, like a beautiful song. You know, when we hear you sing, you don't just sing. It's not just a noise coming out of you. It's a resonance of vibration, a harmony that's coming out that's then penetrating everyone and wrapping its arms around people. You know, you're harmonizing them. You're retuning them. And that's what you set her onto a harmony, onto an attunement that she can now live in that harmony vibration and step into her own peace by staying in that vibration.
Because it's very important when you talk about vibration, Sarah, because again, I go back all time to science. I love science. So we know that with the vibration, with the voice or with the energy, immediately this vibration with the sound active some region of the brain that usually we don't active when we are stressed. So in a case like Diana, if we put electrode on the brain of Diana, what we could see? We can see that after a few seconds, immediately she creates more serotonin in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So
it only takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
I love when Deepak Chopra explains all the electric circuit between the brain and any cells. When I have performed with Deepak last year, it was beautiful when he explained that. So we know immediately the muscle, the bones, every cells receive the benefit of the calm.
Yes.
And in a case like that, we become addicted. It's like you give a drug to someone.
Right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I am in another state of consciousness, baby. Give me some more drug tomorrow.
I like this happy feeling. Why wouldn't we want to be there? Why wouldn't we want to be there in that happy feeling? Because we see everything so differently. We interact with everybody so differently. As you say, we're in that state of meditation, in connection all the time, because we're in that state of joy. We see everything around us more in gratitude, more in appreciation, more in our contribution. We see what our contribution is, what our beautiful musical instrument is, but we can't do that from a place of crunched up and stress and angry. We have to, like a flower, open ourselves up to receive the sunlight and change that whole perspective. We can't do that from that state, but we can when we open up. So what you've done is opened up the serotonin. As you said, it's a happy feeling. We want to stay there. So we're going to make sure we keep that frequency, that vibration up there, so that we can continue on that path.
Yes.
It's very important what we say about neuroscience. A few days ago, I have the case, a couple, they have a child, and the child, 9-10 years old, he watch all time video games, he's very addicted. So the parents say, we don't know what to do. So I explain, what can we do when a child has an addiction to the cortisol, to the stress, because it's overactivity. So what can we do? We cannot say to the child, stop your video game, or because we know it creates conflict, it's worse. Because because the brain cannot feed his addiction to the cortisol, to the stress. So for the child, it's painful. So what can we do? I say we can create another addiction, an addiction to the peace. Because, it was amazing. I give just one session to this child, a few minutes. And after a few minutes, he say, oh, I love that. I feel good. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yes. Well, children are wide open as well. They're more, I think they're more flexible with a vibrational tuning than adults. Not always, but children definitely. And the vibration that you use through the voice box, Michel, is quite high vibrationally wise, and you can sway. It sways. And then it carries up and there's these crescendos, right? And then it's filled in the heart vibration. I think listeners, they will feel this on a very deep soul level. It's like when Athella speaks, her language, her voice is quite melodic, and it's very much of a different dimensional quality, of course, like fifth dimensional quality. It's very much like music. When we get into these tones, it literally, it recalibrates our cells. Children, and I feel like adults need to hear this as well, the children pick up on this and they do this naturally. So we as adults, we're learning how to get into these states, but children have, and animals and plants, they have this vibrational quality already built in. It's for us adults, we get in the head.
Yes, we get in the way.
We are in the head mostly.
Because we think that the more we are complex or complicated, the more we are intelligent. I mean, if you, for example, you are a manager, Christina, and you need to decide for an interview, someone asks for you a job. And if the person say, you know, Christina, me, I am simple, my mind is clear, and I am not stressed. You lose your job in 1 second. If I come to you and I say, I want the job, I have an amazing stress, energy, yeah. Come on. But we see we are educated at the opposite of the goal. Because the goal in our world, we must be active, we must be productive, we must be intuitive. But how can we be active and productive if we are calmer? Because when we are stressed, we go at the opposite of the goal.
Yes.
We are tired, we are unhappy, we are in chronic dissatisfaction. We know in neuroscience, the cognitive process associated to the stress create a stimulation on the cognitive process associated to depression, sadness, chronic dissatisfaction, suicide, etc. So, it's a question not to talk because we receive too much advices, tips, take a deep breath, do this, do that. Shut up. And we need to be
we need to change our frequency.
tuned. We need to be tuned on the vibration of the universe.
Yes, the vibration of the universe.
The vibration of the universe is quiet. It's eternity. We come from eternity and we go to the eternity. But when we are stressed, as you say, Sarah, we are disconnected from the mother nature, from the vibration of the universe. We are not in harmony with the plants, with the stars, with the flowers. So I love Buddhism because this is a spiritual tradition, the most genius about the emotion. We know if we are stressed, if we have money problem, it's difficult to say to the person, pray God, and you will have money. Jesus is not a bank.
No.
Sometimes we pray and we have no money. So I was fascinated, as said Dalai Lama, because Buddhism, it's the science of the emotion. It's the science of the emotion. So we can say it's the science to be tuned on the vibration of the universe. And it's not a question to be adult, to be child, to be rich, to be poor. This is the same for everyone. Just after you, I have a group of prisoners. They spend 20, 30 years in jail. Again, and if you come, I invite you, Christina and Sarah, if you come in LA, I invite you in the session that we have with the prisoners at Amity Foundation. So what we see at Amity Foundation since 4 years, we see that immediately a prisoner can have a lot of PTSD, a lot of drug addiction, a lot of problem, to feel guilty, all the worst that we can imagine. But immediately, when he is tuned in the vibration of the universe, he is quiet.
Yes.
And you're not just doing the one. The thing is, it's the ricochet, isn't it? The ripple effect. If you,
of course,
with the one, then the next one, they start looking at each other differently. Instead of the enemy, the person that wants to shank me, all of a sudden, if they see the brother or they see the sister, they see the person that's been in pain. They see each other on the soul and heart level. And probably for the first time in their lives, they've been able to see somebody on that vibration, on that level. And so why would they want to go back to the hate when they can see each other, when they can see the love, when they can feel better? And, this is so much bigger part of healing society instead of throwing society away.
I am fascinated to see how it's so simple to feel
so simple. It is. It's getting back to the simplicity of the heart vibration, like heart center, what it feels like to love, which, by the way, a lot of these prisoners, I've also had I'm privileged, we're very honored to have seen and worked with those who go in and out of prisons to support organizations who do yoga for prisoners, and they go in and they meditate. Just that's it. There's literally no conversation. They'll just go in and sit. And that phenomenon of simply being in love's vibration is healing. It's potent, and there's nothing to say.
No, it's, you know, at Amity Foundation, they make a survey after 3-4 years that we develop meditation for daily stress. And the result is unbelievable. In California, 80% of parolees, they return to jail. They kill again, they stole again, they go back to jail. And at Amity Foundation, with sport, good food, yoga, good energy, and meditation for daily stress, we see that close the same percentage. 80% of parolees, they never return to jail.
You've
They
given them
find
the
a job.
tools.
Yes.
You've given them the tools to go out in life. The reason why they're repeat offenders is because they're still on the same pattern.
Yes.
Nobody's changed the pattern. Nobody's shifted the vibration.
That's right. I want to say something here too. I feel compelled to say this too. As a former addict myself, and having been homeless and a victim of domestic violence and violent crimes, and having worked in children's hospitals and seeing a lot of suffering coming from people suffering in transition out of the body, but also just suffering through violence. The thing that stuck with me, I came across Buddhism as well, and different religions and things like this. But what really struck me was this vibrational quality that we're talking about, which we can't talk about. But it was it was being coached and mentored and sitting in, saturating in the love vibration, and doing that for a prolonged period of time with those who were also living in that way. In other words, they would be meditating throughout their waking day. And it's when we have these teachers or gurus or guides, and then we're guided, that we're able to be in this vibration with them. It's not so much about the concepts, or at least in my experience, it wasn't. It was more about, this is what it feels like to be home. There is a safe oasis here that I could take into my everyday world. And I learned how to integrate that into every part, every aspect of life. I think that's what we're touching upon too. And that's why it's so, transformational, life altering to do that with those who may be confined.
It's very interesting. In Old Greek, the word diabolos means in English devil. Diabolos in Old Greek means we are divider, so we are not present. I am with you, no, I am here. I am in different direction. I am divided. So diabolos means devil, means possession. So when I am stressed, I am possessed. There is an energy who possesses me. I cannot explain. So diabolos. The opposite of diabolos, it's monachos. Monachos in Greek means monk in English. So monachos, monk, means the unity. I am in the unity. It means I try to be tuned in the unity, to be present to my life, to be present every second. Me yesterday, a journalist asked to me, what means meditation? And a new answer came in my mind. Meditation in this world, for me, it's a martial art. A martial art. How can we recycle the opposite energy? I remember one of the first time I teach at Google, there is a manager, she was very stressed. It was very difficult for her. And she said, Michel, I am fed up about yoga, mindfulness. I am too much tired. I am fed up. What can you propose to me? And I say, my friend, come with me in Times Square. She said, you are crazy, Michel. Times Square? This is the worst place. No, Michel, you are not serious. I said, I'm so serious. Come with me. Okay. She came in Times Square. We were sitting down on the red stairs, you know, around with the big screen and all the noises that we can imagine. And I guide her just to be sitting down like a mountain. And in a few minutes, she say, for the first time, I feel peace in the chaos of the stress.
Right.
So after, when she came back to the office at Google, when she came back to the workplace, she felt immediately better. Again, it's not a question of technique. We cannot say to someone like her, oh, my friend, take a breath, do this, do that, be present, the key of the life is to be
come
positive,
with me.
Yeah.
Just
come with me.
don't talk. I want to share with you, it's interesting, the definition of meditation for Chepa Dorje Rinpoche. Very interesting how one of the highest master of the century, he talks about meditation. So it was amazing. I say one day, Rinpoche, tell me for you what means meditation. So Chepa Dorje Rinpoche, last descendant of the disciple of Siddhartha, replied to me, meditation doesn't exist. No, he said doesn't exist. Just sitting down like a mountain, you will feel all. That's it. So it was the reason why I have adapted to meditate like a mountain, to be more grounded, to breathe the stability of the mountain, to diffuse in ourselves the stability of the mountain. And Rinpoche explained to me that when we give a visualization to someone, it's 10%, but 90%, it's the power, the transfusion of the energy that we give to the person. Anyone can say to a prisoner, sitting down like a mountain. So Rinpoche, after, said to me, and he was so strict, he said, Michel, if you want to guide someone to be less stressed, you must be what you say.
Of course.
Every day.
This exactly leads into the integrity piece.
Every day.
The integrity piece that we
cannot teach meditation as we teach to cook or to play piano or to teach mathematics.
And you must be willing to walk the walk. Yes.
You must be the meditation.
It's not a technique. It's transmission of energy. We give a quality of peace. We give the power, so we active the refuge that we have in the lineage. Me, when I guide you, or when people say to me, oh, Michel, when you sing, we feel calmer. It's not me. This is the lineage, the energy that I have received in my heart, and the energy from my Rinpoche. And you will say, no, it's not me. It's also my Rinpoche. And the Rinpoche say, no, it's another, etc., etc. It's a transmission. It's a lineage.
That's right.
It's a lineage.
That's right.
Of energy.
Yes.
And
it's what I call kind of that state of knowingness again, that channeling of being. Right, is we talked a little while back about how we kind of place so much emphasis on the knowledge, on the education, and getting stuck in all of that. And I'm a very simple person. I really only retain what I need to know when I need to know it. I don't really hold an awful lot up in there. Some people would say not too smart, and I say, well, I don't need to have it until I need it. So if I need it, it will be given to me. It's just keeping the channel open. And you say about a mountain is not so easy for me, because for me it's take flight. The meditation of being the clouds in the air, that is me. The fluidity of air, of breath, of running water, or even the stillness and the absolute everythingness and nothingness of the universe is where I find my peace. But that comes to me in forms of music, which raises my vibration, tunes me back in. And I think what a lot of the time our alignment and our stepping out of self and stepping into anxiety is we've tuned out and we've gone into some static, you know, some heavy metal, and we need to bring ourselves back to that entonement, that tuning that just puts us back on that higher elevation of our own inner peace and harmony and connecting to the heart and love. And if we could do that without complication, just simply have that, I can feel the stress coming, or the situation around me is chaos. I don't have to be part of the chaos. Just because there's chaos around me doesn't need to be that I need to be a part of it. I can be that mountain. I can be that cloud. I can be that freedom of air and water. You've just got to tune in and just step into it, because when you are it, you start calming the chaos around you. Your vibration, your harmony is rippling out around you, and you start calming everything else around you. So it's essential that we actually live our lives that way. Before we started the show, we started talking about food, and I really want to bring this in because it's very important. We were talking about organic food and healthy food and versus unhealthy food. But basically it really comes down to the vibration of the food and how we eat it and how we look at it. And you described it so well, Michel. Would you please open up that door again? Because I think it's information the audience needs.
It's so simple. It's so simple. We can have it's important to have a good food, of course. Mm-hmm. I live in LA, we take care of the food. But we forget something. Mm-hmm. There is a quality of the food, but again, if the mind is stressed, if our brain is running all the time, we see in neuroscience that the property of the good food that we eat doesn't go perfectly in our body. One of the examples that we have is with a carrot. So when you eat a carrot, you go to Whole Foods, you buy a very good, hey baby, vegan organic carrot.
The best.
Oh my baby, what a carrot, so fresh. So you bring your carrot at home, you eat your carrot. So you eat the carotene, the property of the carrot. But when we are stressed, the neurotransmitter in the brain cannot work perfectly. So the carotene doesn't go perfectly in our body. And according to some studies, they say that we lose 60%, 90% of the benefit of the carotene. So how we eat and how our mind is more important than the quality of the food. Because in America, we have a sort of obsession. Healthy food. Oh, which food, which tea, Mm-hmm. But we forget that when we are stressed, we destroy the good quality of the food. Mm-hmm. It's not an opinion, it's what we see in the brain.
Right.
I can share with you something funny. That's my friend, Dr. Amshi Tsetan. Amshi is the director of the Tibetan clinic of Kathmandu, and he is a doctor of the Dalai Lama and many exceptional masters. He said, he came in my house 2 years ago, and he said in a conference something so funny. He said, in LA, we eat vegan, organic food. We spend a lot of money for that. But most of the people have cancer. In Nepal, in Kathmandu, we eat the worst tea, black tea, not good quality, pork in the street, chicken in the street. We have no cancer. Mm-hmm. Why? Because in Nepal, especially in the Tibetan area, like in Bodhnath, in Kathmandu, people are very calm. Mm-hmm. So they can eat a bad food, yes, but the mind is quiet and they are not sick. Right. But in LA, when I see how everyone is addicted to the stress, because stress, it's an addiction.
Adrenaline. Mm-hmm.
It's an addiction. It's also a mental disease.
Yes.
When we are stressed, we have a mental disease. And it's very sneaky because around us, everyone is stressed.
And so it seems normal, right?
I am normal.
Yes.
It seems normal.
If you're not stressed, what's wrong with you? Yes.
That's true. That's so true.
We can say, as you say, Sarah, if you have not a mental disease, you are not normal.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
me? I have a mental disease. Yeah, wonderful. You are good.
Right. It seems that the culture sort of plays into that, doesn't it? It feeds into that. If you're calm, if you're flowing, and people feel that from you, it's almost like, what's wrong with you? Or
Right.
you're
But
absent out of your life. You're playing the denial
You're living
game.
in La La Land.
Exactly.
Yes.
But in the same time, I am very optimist because everyone, we realize that we cannot keep going on like that.
No, of
And
course not.
we see in many big companies like Google, in Harvard University, I came to give many conferences in Columbia University with my friend, Dr. Liza Miller. I see for the students, I see for the school in Catalina Island, where there is my center at the school, children, they study this meditation. I see for the prisoners, I see, we realize we cannot keep going on like that.
No.
We cannot live like that. It's too much painful because after we lose money.
It's detrimental, not only to us as human beings, but to the ricochet and the vibration of the planet. I think, people don't realize the vibration that we're resonating on, it affects the plants that grow, the food. It affects the earth, that vibration. We know when we're around someone with negative vibes, how it makes us feel. We feel like we've been cut open or shot, and so when we are living in that state of being all the time, when we're thinking it's normal, we this ricochet going out of everybody being on that same platform, we are so harming each other, and we are so harming this planet. And as I've said so many times, we have the problem, but we're also the solution. It comes down to the choice of what are you wanting to feed. And I think a lot of people don't realize they are in stress, that they are wound up, because it's become, as Christina said, so normal.
It's an epidemic.
That, an epidemic of it. And of course you've got, the political platform that's going on, and the CNN effect. Let's take a pimple and make it a volcanic eruption. And everything's stirring up the hysteria. And it's, how do people step out of that tornado constantly bombarding them and step into that state of peace?
I couldn't agree. Step into their state of peace. And I would love to grace people with Athella's light as an ascended master. She has light that is unique too, that we can hear through the ears and feel on a vibrational level. But we can talk all day about all that, like all of the tools and all of that, but it's really boils down to the vibrational quality that we feel in exchange. I love the way you were saying, transmutation, the transmission process. So I've loved sitting and floating in this vibration, which I feel. I feel that with you, Michel. I feel that with you, Sarah. I know our listeners will feel this. We can
do another one.
Let's do another one. And I would love to have Athella, join us as we do this. And then Sarah, her channeling, it comes from a very pure place, but it's very airy and spirited. And we can join in this symphony, what we build together. I would love to sit and offer that. One other thing you mentioned, Michel, about refuge. When we give ourselves the gift of retreat, because here I'm in the Yucatan Peninsula and I came way off the grid here to form this center so that people could specifically come out and touch a dolphin and be in this place where the ocean flows, the sun, we sit in meditation, we're with the grass, we look at an iguana and we meditate the energy of iguana, very still. Iguana doesn't move. And this channeling of these parts of nature, so we can return to the true self, not that the ego stuff, but the return to home. And then we can learn tools to take it into the matrix so that we could build that. But I was just saying about refuge, a lot of people don't consider that, or they don't think about refuge or retreat. So anyone listening, and if that speaks to you, it doesn't have to be any particular one, but find one that calls to you, and take yourself out of the environment that you've been in and try something else where you're going into a place where you can be, like with Michel's meditation, you can be in close proximity with someone who can go there with you, who can be in that vibration with you.
For me, the retreat, it's in the stress. The retreat, it's not if we go in a quiet place, because we know when we go back to the stressful job, we lose the benefit of the peace. So there is a study in Harvard University, they make experience. They saw that if you meditate, if you go in a quiet retreat place whenever, it's beautiful. We need that. Yeah. But we know that when you go back, it's like the syndrome of the Monday morning.
Yes.
Monday morning, it's the day there is a highest rate of suicide in America.
It's retreat syndrome. I've heard of this phenomenon. Yes.
You know, it's a disaster because in a Buddhist, in a monastic life, we never do that.
Yeah.
No.
There's no in and out.
No. We are
taking it with you
24 hours in retreat. And it is a reason why for me it's good to go in a retreat, okay. But no, the retreat, it's in the traffic. The retreat, it's at the workplace when my coworkers are so stressed. The retreat, it's in my job when my manager put a pressure on me. Yes. When I have money problem, how can I pay my lease this month? When I have love problem, when I must take a decision in my private life, if I stay with my wife, no, yes, whenever. This is a retreat for me. Because again, if I go outside of the stress, it's beautiful. I organize retreat in the nature, but I say all time to the people, the retreat starts when you go back to your job.
Right.
It's taking
what you're learning and applying it to life. And that's, I think, also a human condition. They'll go and, oh, this is all very nice. And then like a rubber band, they go right back to where they were. Right. They don't bring it with them. The whole idea of the experience is now to step into that. Bring it with you, be it.
Yes, but it's very, very important because we cannot bring peace. No. In our job.
We are it. We find it. We become it, and that's what I'm saying. We bring the peace that's within us, in our lives.
It's so important, Sarah, what you say. Congratulations for what you say, because in neuroscience, what we see, as say Professor Gary Schwartz, it's worst if we do a retreat. It's like when people they do vipassana or whenever. Why it's worst? Because you create a depression effect. There is a moment I can be quiet, and the moment I will be stressed. Because when we go back to our daily stress, the brain has not received the information. I can be quiet.
I can be
in
quiet
my job.
I
can be quiet in the traffic. The brain has received the opposite information.
Right.
I am quiet in a retreat.
Right.
And oh my gosh, I must go back to the traffic. Oh la la, oh la la.
Yeah. So the technique is to bring that retreat skill into your daily life. You're in that traffic, you're moving 1 inch at a time, it's noisy, people are honking. It's how to be in that chaos in your inner peace.
Yeah.
And
next Saturday in LA, I organize a retreat in the traffic.
This is great.
We go
awesome.
in the traffic. We go in the traffic.
Good.
And I guide people who drive. Exactly the same that I do with Uber drivers. The Uber drivers drives. Me, I am sitting down and I guide the Uber driver to recycle all the stressful energy that he receives when he drives at the rush hour.
Yes.
The thing is that if you've been in a state of stress and that's all you've known and you don't realize you're wound up, like a tight thing, and you've learned now to let go, step into your peaceful, loving presence. And, I like this. I like feeling like this. The addiction to feeling the love within. When you get into that stressful position, you can see that anxiety come in and go, you're not going there. I'm keeping my peace with me. I'm not going to let anyone take it from me. But it's only when you've stepped into that peace and really become it become it, that you can go into that chaos and still be the mountain in the chaos, with the tornado running around you and not be moved, or be the cloud that will go with it and don't worry about it. You're not right. being affected by it. But when the more we step into our inner peace, in that love and that state of being and that knowingness, the more and more we want to be there, and we're not going to let that outside stress in. It can happen around us. It's not going to happen to us.
We create the oasis. We are the oasis. And just to touch on some of the points, I think it's excellent. The traffic meditations and really bringing people into airports comes to mind for some reason too. So in these highly populated, stressful situations, because I'll work with a lot of analytically minded individuals and business executives as well. And as clients, they're like air traffic control being another one, where the mind is not even for an eighth of a second is on this, not even able to stop at all, like not even able to take a break or a breath. It's just rumination. The retreat, the way that we do it here, there are distractions around us, and we kind of have a farm a little bit going on here, animals and things and traffic going by. But I think it's also a matter of going in the mind. I think a practitioner that's really mindful of this will do this, where you can go in the mind and run through these scenarios where you're in your career, you're on the spot. Someone has you on the spot on your job, or in a relationship where there's been turmoil, and you actually go through those motions in the mind, because of course, our mind doesn't know whether it's imagined or real. So we can sit and close our eyes and go through these points, these chaos points, and then become the meditation, become the peace, feel the peace while we're there. That's one technique. And I also believe, as we're telling people, as they're coming into retreat, as they're going, that retreat is within you, and it's a never ending. It's something that you have to cultivate, that you give yourself. It's a gift to the self, and it's got to be a part of that self-care that we do every day. But unless we do that for ourselves, as leaders of these retreats and of these programs, unless we do that for ourselves, we're not going to be able to help other people integrate that into their life either. So it's a vibrational feeling.
You've got to be. Yeah,
you've got to be in to know. You got to be in to know it.
Again, when someone comes back to the daily stress, we cannot say to the person, you must integrate your retreat, you must become, again, for me it's a blah blah. Because
I understand what you mean.
You understand. We are fed up to receive in America 1 million advices per second. We become a hub. Our brain is a hub, and everyone, you must do this, integrate, do this.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes, let's become the shell.
Oh!
Let us become the shell.
We must feel, we must be tuned, we must be guided.
Yes.
Because at the beginning, we cannot meditate by yourself. And again, when I talk about meditate, I want to be precise. Meditate doesn't mean the cliche, take a deep breath, not at all. In Tibetan etymology, meditate, you know what does it mean? It means exactly, I train my mind in my daily life. I train my mind. Now, I am with you, Sarah. I am with you, Christina. You are so cute together. Full of love. Just we see you, we are not stressed for many lives. We are full of love because we all is a vibration. We receive your love. For me, the most important, this is a vibration. Sarah, when you talk, Christina, when you talk with your shell, you give love. You are so kind. So immediately, bye-bye the stress, bye-bye the thought, bye-bye to integrate, shut up.
Just speak love. Just be love.
Babies.
Yes, exactly. But we've said this over and over again, and of course, love is what's love got to do with it? Everything. When you step into that loving vibration, when you become the love, and that integrity you're talking about, is that Christina and I started doing Channeling Ascensions after doing 6 shows together. It was time for us to come together. It's about if we can just spread the love with some information, little ingredients on your dish that you're going to devour. It's that vibration. You may not have heard a word we've said today, but if you felt it, if you have felt the love, if you felt the empowerment of your being, of you stepping into your own love and raising that vibration, bringing about your own peace, if you have felt that, then we've done our job. And we love what we do. We are our job. We are that love, and we like to sprinkle it on everyone.
It is the most important, again, it's not to talk, but to tune. And to tune the person in the daily stress, because at this moment, facing the computer at the workplace, for example, or in the traffic, immediately the vibration, the person feel calmer immediately. And after a few days like that, the brain has received the neurochemical information. Oh my gosh. I have a beautiful example. I remember last year, I have the president of one of the biggest company in America. And she cried, she said, I am so stressed. And I have tried all yoga, mindfulness, MBSR, EMDR. Nothing works. I have a lot of anxiety. I am the president of a huge company. I cannot say the name, it's confidential. Whenever, her name is Alicia. So Alicia cry every day. She say, I hate my office. Oh my gosh, my office, this is my jail. What we did, I came every morning, 5 minutes at 8 a.m. in our office, exactly at the place where she is stressed. And I have guided the meditation of the dolphin. Christina, when you have talked about the dolphin is one of the favorite meditations that I teach. I will guide with you in a few seconds, but after 2-3 sessions of 5 minutes, Alicia, she said, Michel, I love my office.
You reset her vibration.
This is now the place where I love to go. And after 2 weeks, she said, Michel, my team say we don't recognize you, Alicia.
Right.
You are quiet, you are happy. Because the goal of the meditation, it's not to imagine that we are a cliche who doesn't exist in reality, but it's to be grateful. I am more alive.
You're right. Step into your creativity.
I am more alive. I talk with you, Sarah. I talk with you, Christina. I am so grateful. I feel your good energy. I feel your humility. I feel your crazy happy love, baby. Boogie Wonderland.
Definitely heavy on the crazy love there, most certainly.
So it was very beautiful to see, and it was so simple in a short time that Alicia changed totally the perception of her office. And we know in neuroscience, there is a survey, wonderful, they explain that after 20 days of an authentic, I don't like the word meditation. It's too much cliche for me in America, but I prefer to say cognitive re-education.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes. With a good cognitive re-education, we change our perception of the office. We change our perception of the traffic. We change our perception of money problem.
Money.
Yes, because
it's a rechanneling, isn't it? A rechanneling. Yes.
I teach all time for money problem. I'm writing a book, How My Money Problem Become My Spiritual Teacher.
Oh, that is delightful.
Yes. How my money problem, how my love problem becomes my spiritual teacher. I am a specialist about that.
The only way we get to be a specialist is to live it.
We must be what we say. So first we must be specialists.
Yes.
But no, seriously, it's very beautiful. I remember when I came from Himalayas to Los Angeles 5 years ago, sometimes per week I have $20 to eat. So I must go to 99 cents to buy my pasta. But I was happy. My simple pasta, but I see the sky. I eat my pasta with a little oil, very cheap quality, but I eat slowly.
Yes.
I love my pasta. And I say, I am more happy than many celebrities who eat in an Italian vegan restaurant, so expensive whenever.
Taking pills to calm down.
Of course.
Right. Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Pills, it's a disaster, of course. So when we talk about a cognitive reeducation, like Alicia, we change our perception of the life because the brain, it's not magical, it's neurochemical. The brain has received the neurochemical information. I love my office. I can be quiet in my office. So we realize...
You've changed the lenses. You've changed the lenses of the eyes, because when the eye sees something as a burden, it becomes stressful. When you resent it, how many people go into something they love? That initial passion and everything is there, and all of a sudden it starts becoming a burden on the shoulder. They no longer love it anymore. But you loved it so much. You were so creative. Where's the passion? Oh, the passion has gone because they allowed the burden to weigh them down. When you take that burden back off and have them see it for what it was that started them in it in the first place, back to the passion, back to the love, back to the creation, which creation and love are one, then they step back into that of loving what they do, and it opens up everything. Every channel opens up into the possibility of what can be, what is going to be, that creativity, that diving back into it again in gratitude and service. And we lose that because we get burdened down by the burdens of commitment or expectation or dictation. Take it all off and get back to the passion, back to the love of it, back to the reason why you did it in the first place. And you'll step back into the joy and the heart of it, and everything will be elevated.
It seems that we're dealing with our brains too. In this physical vehicle, we are dealing, it's with, like what Michel said, we're dealing with science here, and the neural plasticity of the brain can absolutely be changed.
It's wonderful because since 20 years, 25 years, science confirms that we know in Buddhism since 5,000 years ago. It's funny. I love to work with my friend, Dr. Gary Schwartz, and we want to co-write a book together because the last discoveries in neuroscience confirm exactly all the Buddhist teachings that we have since 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. So there is no debate. Again, the question, it's not if stress is good, yes or bad. Of course, it's a disaster. The question is, we must be calm. The main question is how to be calm. The main question of the main question, it's not by talk, it's to tune. How can we be tuned if at the beginning someone tune us? We cannot be tuned by ourselves at the beginning because the brain is running all time. We need...
A piano doesn't tune itself. It needs somebody to come in there and tune it before it can make beautiful music, right?
Yeah, that's so true. With that, I want to bring in, I hope it's okay if I do this. I want to bring in, well, when Athella comes in, she wanted to do this dolphin meditation. It's amazing. I think we're all on the same frequency. We wanted to do a dolphin meditation. I want to get a picture of a dolphin that I have on the wall here that I keep. There's dolphins everywhere in this place. And I'd like to show that because when it's in our visual field too, when we see something visually, it helps with the reset of the tuning.
Of course.
It can be just that. So I'm going to go get that while you guys just relax.
Okay, we're going to continue talking.
I can guide you in a meditation like the dolphin as we do. But again, I want to say again that visualization or breath exercise, it's just 10%. Just 10%. I said Shepa Dorje Rinpoche, 10%. 90%, it's the energy that we share. This is the most important. We can say what we want by visualization. I want to meditate with an handkerchief. I want to meditate with a glass of champagne. We can say what we want.
Right.
You know. Oh, thank you, Christina.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not come back.
Beautiful.
You need to speak, Christina, for the picture to be seen. Otherwise, we don't
let's
see.
see. Can I make a little description and that the screen
No,
will pop up?
when you're speaking, the picture comes up. And if you're just listening to this by audio, folks, we'll put the picture up on the posting.
Oh, yes.
But when
okay,
you speak,
great.
the picture comes up.
Well,
Up,
perfect.
up. There we
I
go.
will speak.
There we go.
Yes, I will speak, and
Keep
then
that.
let's see. This
Ah,
is hopefully you guys can see this. This is one picture
Beautiful.
with the dolphins, with the dog, and you can get these on YouTube anywhere, of course, or on the internet. And then there's a very large picture here. I just want to, you can just kind of soak it in. Ooh.
I
Beautiful.
love these creatures. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I mean, I want to share with you a story. In Buddhism, it was a revolution in my mind when my Rinpoche teach me the difference between the world outside, the stress, the noises, the tension, and the world inside. We have a world inside. We have a soul, we have a spiritual dimension, we have a space. So this is the difference between the world outside, stress, tension, blah, blah, and the world inside. So how can we go from the world outside to the world inside?
Mm-hmm.
And one day I swim in Santa Monica. I love to swim in the cold ocean. And I saw a few meters from me a dolphin. And the dolphin jumps and dive. And suddenly for me, it was a perfect metaphor to dive inside us,
Yes.
to meditate like a dolphin. So I can share with you this practice that I will guide in a few minutes to the prisoners in Los Angeles.
Is a fella coming through now? Because we have to give fella a little bit of a time to come through. Do you want a fella to come through first or afterwards?
That would be great. We could just flow with it. And some people, they close their eyes for this, but whatever's comfortable. If you're standing, if whoever's listening, if you're standing, you could be cooking, you could be doing anything, and you can join us with it.
Of course,
yes.
Of course.
So do you want to bring a fella through now, Christina, or after?
Yeah, let's do that then. And forgive me, I hear my phone. There's my meditation. I have a meditation phone ringy thing that where my phone will go off 8 times per day. So as a reminder, a gentle reminder to return to this moment and to embody my peace. So you may hear that in the background. It's just dinging. I recommend though, if you find that it's difficult, you get lost in your head too often, that it can be helpful to have a little reminder. And that's a great way to have a meditation practice.
So I
think, hold on a second. I think we're going to have a fella come through first, Michel, and then afterwards we'll close off with your meditation.
Yes.
Okay. Just takes a moment for a fella to come through.
Please.
No strain. Humans, you try so hard. No trying. You are relaxing. Your central nervous system relaxes as you sit, as you pause. You are breathing oxygen. The heart beats. I want you to feel as though you are a child. You are being cradled by mother. Hear the heartbeat. Breathing happens. Let it. As the oxygen flows in, you are in grace. As the oxygen circulates to the heart, you are held like child. Mother
You are safe. Release the fears through the toes. And now the exhale can release all fear. Let it melt through the toes. No strain. You are not going anywhere. There is nothing to do. No need to think. Here you are. Like a dolphin, gliding, playful, smooth. Under the ocean, near the bottom, it is quiet, calm. There is a reservoir of peace. Find yourself there. You do not have to go into imagination. You can feel that you are cradled in the water. Be like the dolphin. At the surface, the waves could be choppy. There could be a storm. These are the activities of the mind, the thoughts. You are a creature like dolphin. Glide down at the depths of the ocean. Calm, calm mind. Michel and your angels. Please invite dolphins to breach and play, to blow their bubbles.
There is the world outside, the tensions, the stress, the blah blah. This is the world outside. But we have also a world inside. We have a soul, a space, an ocean. How can we go from the world outside to the world inside? We can meditate like a dolphin. We are at the surface of the life, in the waves, the tensions, the stress. We breathe in like a dolphin. We keep our breath and we dive inside us. And immediately we are in the peace of the ocean, the peace of our soul, the peace of the fishes. We are in our world inside. Anytime, anywhere, we can dive inside us in 1 second. And when we are in the abyss of our soul, we can smile like a dolphin. We can smile. Yo do 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 do. Yo yo do do. Yo do do. Yo do 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 do. Smile. Yo here yo. Yeah, yo do do do. Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo. Smile. Yo la yo lo yo do. Yo la yo la yo lo yo. Yo la yo. Yo la yo la yo. Oh, smile. Yo la yo la yo do. Yo la yo do. Da you do you smile.
Smile makes the world go round. Beautiful, beautiful.
Enchanting, enchanting, and so healthy and healing. I just wish for all souls healing this. Healing this part of ourselves that needed this today, that they continue to play it, just play the recording again and again. What a gift.
We can dive inside us. Inside us. But again, as we say, it's not the metaphor of the dolphin. Again, as say my Rinpoche, it's 10%. 90%. This is a vibration, the peace vibration. And we cannot lie face to God. I mean, we must be what we sing. We must be what we guide.
Yeah.
Because when we guide someone, we have a huge responsibility. So how to develop that every day? It's if our daily life, it's quiet, stable, happy all time. And the survey for me, it's simple. If our brain is running all time, our practice is not good.
No.
But if our brain is quiet, happy, simple, you know, there is something beautiful. I love Sainte Thérèse of Lisieux, Santa Teresa, the little flower, as we say in Catholic Church. And Sainte Thérèse, when she finished her prayer every day, she said, God, keep me simple. Not simplistic, but simple. To have a clear mind, to take simple decisions. So when in our life, for example, love is complicated, it's not love. It's not sacred love. It's ordinary needs, sexual needs, psychological needs. But love is simple. To be kind is simple.
Yes.
To be calm, it's so simple. Because God is simple. And again, we talk too much for nothing. We are too much complicated for nothing.
Yes.
Just when we we dive like a dolphin when we are in the peace of the fishes, the peace of the ocean.
Yeah.
We're in joy. We're in joy.
We are
People
more
think of
alive.
joy. People think joy has to be all this high-pitched euphoria. It isn't. The joy is being in that peace, being the peace, diving into those waters of those beautiful conduit depths of being fed, the soul, the heart, the spirit being fed, and then diving back out of the water like a dolphin to bring all of that back into the surface. It's beautiful.
It's the simple pasta. I like that.
Yes. Yes. We don't need to complement it with a lot of spices, right? We are the spice.
We enjoy
really-
it so much more. I imagine, Michel, you came to appreciate that pasta and its simplicity, and you were so happy.
Yes, because life is simple. So, and I teach in jail in a few minutes, and sometimes I say to the prisoner, who is in jail?
Yeah.
Who is in jail?
Yeah.
Yesterday I teach for rich people whenever, or poor people. But the more I teach for rich people, I have never met in my life someone rich and happy. Never.
No, no.
But
unless they give us.
I don't say it's good to be poor. I don't say that. But of course, but I say that when you are in jail and you are broken because you lose your name, you know, in jail you become a number. So if you come to Amity, you will see today many prisoner parolees are very quiet. And I said to my brother, I am proud of you because million people in LA, they are unable to be sitting down as you are, to be calm and to stop the brain from running all time.
Right.
So I am proud. And for me, there is no teacher and students. I say to them, I am not your meditation teacher. You are not my student. We share an energy.
Yes.
As Christina, when you guide us, you give all your love. We receive your love. You are so kind, Christina. Sarah, you are a volcano of love.
And I keep erupting.
Yes, you are. We say in Buddhism, you are fire energy. So, you are the fire element. Sarah, and Christina, so in this world, we need you, my babies, because we live in a huge spiritual fight, as we have never seen since the story of the humanity.
Yes.
I work a lot for the suicide of children. I just finished a movie about the suicide of children with my friend, the actress Gabriella Wright. And you know, maybe in America, this is the biggest taboo. Because you don't know, but the second cause of death from 10 years to 25 years, this is a suicide in America. So this is a symptom of we are very sick mentally.
The madness.
But it's a spiritual fight between peace and stress, between ignorance and consciousness. So when I see you, Christina, with your cute picture of your dolphin, your smile like a baby, you, Sarah, like a sort of medicine woman reincarnated in a volcano of love.
She is fire.
We receive your love, and this is the most important. Because when I see you both, I don't want to say that like that, but there is no judgment. You don't judge. This is so important. You are not dogmatic. You don't say, do this, do that. Just you share your energy.
Right.
Sarah, you share your love. Christina, you share your love like a child. You are a child. An old soul reincarnated in a child body.
That youthful energy that comes out of it. And I'm kind of the old mother, you know, everybody's on my lap and everybody's getting a hug, you know, because I know how important that is, just to simply embrace. And what we do here is we are embracing you. We're giving everyone that beautiful hug.
Yes.
Love yourself within, because we see you and we love you for who you are from the inside out.
It's so important because you, Sarah, you, Christina, all, we have a responsibility.
Yes.
For every person who is watching your show, my friends. Yes. We never know. You can save a life. I see, I have many times improved this experience. One day I was in Long Island, in New York, and there is Stony Brook University, the big university for the students in science. They are so stressed. You know, maybe 50-60% of the students, they have ADHD. You know that. Mm-hmm. So, because too much stress. And we know that no pills can cure ADHD. No. To cure ADHD, it's a cognitive reeducation. Yes. So it was amazing. I remember a Sunday evening to give I don't like to say a teaching, just to share experience. Mm-hmm. I prefer to talk like that. Mm-hmm. So at the end, I will never forget, there is a young guy, 22 years old, a Chinese student. He has glasses, and he came to me with a plastic bag. And he said, you know, Michel, in my bag, this morning, I bought pills to kill myself because I am a Chinese man. All my family in China, they have spent a lot of money for my studies. And I am so tired and I am fed up about the system because my hope is to enter in a big company and I will be more stressed. Right. So this morning, I decide to kill myself because I cannot go back to China. Say to my family, you have spent a lot of money for me. You work a lot for me. I am a disaster. So my only way is to go to the sky. So he showed me his bag. And at the end of the workshop, he said, I have changed my mind. Mm-hmm. This talk has changed my mind. So he said, I put my pills in a trash and I want to leave. Yes. So I take him in my arms and I say, my friend, life is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
We are too much complicated for nothing.
Yes.
You will find a way. Maybe find another way. Move from the university. Talk to your family, but just be more alive. Be more present. So it's beautiful responsibility. So Sarah, Christina, congratulations for your session. Congratulations for your center. Congratulations for your show, Sarah. Because maybe someone is watching us today and the person is very depressed, very stressed. And the person say, oh my gosh, I can be calmer. Simply, yes. Me, the more I see, the more I realize, yes, it's so simple to be less stressed if we are guided by a vibration, by the power, as we say in Buddhism, and immediately, I feel better.
Yes.
So I feel better. Again, if we talk with science, it means I have more serotonin. Yes. So I become addicted. I want my drug, my positive drug.
Yes.
Let me find a dealer, baby.
Guess what? He resides inside, in the heart and the soul and the divine connection.
Yes.
It's all there. We're our own drug dealer.
Right? Yes.
Michel, I must say to you, you are an alchemist of
love.
No.
You
are. I know that with total humility, though, your spirit shines forth. And so I feel very honored. And I know that there will be listeners who hear this and just at a pivotal moment, they'll have their moment, perhaps, where they'll be holding the plastic bag. And we never know how far the ripples go out. No. But congratulations to you for what you are joining with science and with this thing that we know as life and that it's all
It's not my success. This is a success of the intelligence of the people.
You are a great conduit for that, my friend.
Yes. Remember, people are trying to find their way, and it's people like you and like Christina that are showing people the path. The whole point of the radio station is to give people a path of knowledge that they can put in their backpack on their journey of life. And a lot of the time, people who are waking up to that consciousness, I realize I'm stressed, I realize I'm miserable, but I don't know where to go. These shows are to share that knowledge so that they can put this knowledge in their backpack, apply it, and then take their beautiful journey of life. And this is your contribution and Athella's contribution. And because we're all stepping up with love, with heart, and with belief, we can make this world a better place, one soul at a time. By igniting that spirit and that soul and heart within them, we will change this planet and its equilibrium and rebalance the serotonin, the whole goddamn thing.
Yes.
We can change the world. It's true.
Yes.
Because today we have all the tools. We
Absolutely.
have media, we have internet, we have app, we have all to change.
Yes.
Just this little conscience. But again and again and again, it's so important to realize that when we talk about meditation, it is not the cliche to say, I want to be sitting down in a lotus position like that, 20 minutes per day, every morning. No, we have no time to do that. We are too much tired to listen tips. It doesn't work like that. It was okay when people live 50 years ago, 100 years ago in the Himalayas or in India, whenever, but times has really changed. Yes. We cannot say to a child like Jenna, the little girl who have ADHD, we cannot say to a child violent, take a deep breath, practice every day meditation, 20 minutes. They don't care.
Yes.
So when we talk like that to someone, as I say, my friend prisoners, you don't respect me. He says that he makes me cry because it was extremely true. When we say to someone, take a deep breath, be like this, be like that, we are blind. We don't realize
to their pain and to their turmoil.
Exactly how the person is in a big suffering.
Yes.
So again, when we talk about meditation, we need to talk about an authentic meditation as we live in a monastery. Me, I was so surprised when I came in America. I thought that all the meditation teachers, before they live in a monastery, I thought that.
That must be surprising.
But I discover not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Because because of course when we have a monastic life or when we take refuge with our Rinpoche, we receive many teaching that you cannot find in any books, that you cannot find on internet, because in Tibetan etymology, sacred means secret. This is the same word. It's the same for Navajo Apache language. Sacred, it's secret. We don't talk about the special practice. So all the Buddhism, it's a philosophy, it's a cosmogony, it's an art, it's a meditation, whenever. But there is also very deep layer that we cannot find in any books. So it's just a question of vibration. It's a question of to feel, not to learn intellectually, but to feel with our heart, to see in our dreams, to have synchronicities, sign. It's funny, many people ask to me, oh, Michel, how was your Rinpoche when he teach you? And people are so surprised because I say, Rinpoche, when he teach me, most of time, 10 seconds. Huh? Yes, he doesn't talk. But just when I see him, oh my gosh, I understood all. And many times he came in my dream, and he comes in my dream. And I see him clearly in a dream. Or I have an amazing synchronicity, a synchronicity from nowhere, but clear between Buddhism and a situation. Or a sign. We have sign, we have intuition.
That's channeling the information, that knowingness that you need.
We forget that the authentic teaching in spirituality, it's not talking, it's experience. Being. Because I mean, I say all the time, spirituality, it's not a belief. It's not a belief.
No.
It's an experience.
Yes.
We make an experience, we live an experience, and we say, my God, I receive an amazing love. I am happy. To see you, Sarah, with your smile. To see you, Christina. You are too cute with your picture of your dolphin. So when you come like that, in this world, so difficult, it is it's like when we say one prayer, it's like 1 million prayer.
Right.
Because we give through the computer, we give through internet a good energy.
Right.
And again, someone in a difficult case can say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that meditation doesn't mean home, the cliche of that. No, it's not true. It's not the truth, it's a cliche. I say all the time, it's not meditation, it's blah-blahtation.
But you know what we're doing here is basically we've created the music for you, and we're inviting you to get up and dance in your own life.
Yes.
You know, when you hear the music and you feel the music, your body starts to sway, you start to participate with the music. All we're doing is we're playing our song. We're playing our song of love. We're inviting you to hear the music. Let your hips sway. Start feeling the music within you, around you, devour you, and become part of that music. And you will feel so good. You'll feel so released. You'll feel so in truth with self that you'll want to dance all the time. And you'll be looking for that music, and you'll realize you are the music. Just get up and dance to it.
You know, it's so true. I have the chance to give concert with my friend Myron McKinley. Myron is the music director and the keyboard player since many, many years of Earth, Wind and Fire. When I was a child, I dreamed with Earth, Wind and Fire.
I loved the music. I grew up with it. Yes.
Full of love.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Philippe Bellet, Verdine White, Maurice White. They were full love.
Yes, love.
For me, the concert of Earth, Wind and Fire, this is the best pills that we can buy in America to feel happy. And for me, it's a dream now. When I sing on stage with Myron McKinley, we perform together. And I will share with you the link. You can see the last concert that we give together. And it's magical, exactly as you say, Sarah. It's exactly as you do, Christina, when you bring your picture of the dolphin. Just in your fingers, we feel your love. You don't need to talk, just you bring your picture like that.
Yes.
You are too cute. I have a picture of you. This is meditation, you know. This is, you give your energy. Sarah is the same. When Sarah, you talk about the universe, to be reconnected and all. It's so, we feel the vibration of the fire element in your heart. So when we go on stage, we are in eternity, in 1 second.
Yes.
When we guide someone, when you show your picture of dolphin, Sarah, when you talk with all your fire element, at this moment, we are in eternity. We go beyond the words, beyond the concept, beyond. We are in love. We are in God.
Yes.
When we ask, many people ask to me why we need to meditate. And I reply something simple. We need to meditate because if we are not calm, we miss something that we don't understand. I miss something because we can be rich, we can be healthy, we can have a lot of $1 million, but we have all, but not the essential. And the essential is to feel the divine energy, the divine love. We can say God, we can say the cosmos, we can say the energy. Everyone has his own word.
Yes.
And for me, the survey for God is the stress. The more we are stressed, the more we are far from God.
Yes.
Right.
And the more we are calm, happy, stable like a child, the more we are close
Part
to
of God. Part of
we
God.
That's right.
More than we realize that we are God.
Exactly.
You know, and some people, what'd she say? Yes, you know, the universe is God. We are part of the universe. Every part of us is in that. The more we attach to our heart and our soul and our spirit, the more we are the realization of God, because we are God's instrument. We are part of that creation. And then that beautiful creation, we are here to share, to let our cup run over, to pour it over into this world of love. We don't need, there's always going to be chaos, because that's the nature. In the universe, something dies, something else is reborn. That is the nature of it. But we don't have to live in this hate to have love.
We don't have to buy into that. We can
No.
live in a beautiful oasis we create for ourselves. And just a reminder that we're eternal and we're of the cosmos. So we're made up of the same material as the sun and the stars and the dolphins. You know, we're actually, it's no joke. We're actually part of all that. That's
of course.
Everything is connected.
Yes.
Of course. It's beautiful because when we talk about that, about God, we see again that when the mind is calm, the mind is clear. And when the mind is clear in our life, we feel better because all time, for example, we need to take decision. And to live is to choose all time. I stay in this house, I move in another house, I live with a person, I move from a person. It's all time decision. So when the mind is calm, the mind is clear. And when it's clear, we see clearly in our life, we can take decision, we can have intuition, and we receive some message, and we make the difference between our projection and real intuition that we receive.
The knowingness. And you can't receive the knowingness unless you're in that state of beingness, because it literally, your whole entire body is opening up to that channel, and what you need to know at the time you need to know it comes pouring in. And you cannot step into that knowingness unless you're into the trust of love, the trust of the divine, the trust of being a being, because that's the only way you receive that knowledge.
It's a felt experience. This is all felt experience.
It's funny when people sometimes ask to me, oh, can you give me one meditation? What is the best meditation? It's an interesting question. What is the best meditation? When the brain is running all the time, how can I stop the brain like that? And there is a beautiful answer. We go in the street and we give $1 to an homeless. We are kind. We have a little attention for someone. So we are stressed and we give love. We give love, $1 to an homeless. We are at home and we cook pasta. I mean, we give love to someone.
Yes.
So the best meditation is to be kind.
The best cure of depression is to be of purpose and to step forth and do something for someone else. It raises everything up in you. Yes.
Because it's so important. In neuroscience, we know that the cognitive process associated to the kindness active the cognitive process associated to the peace. And the cognitive process associated to the peace active the kindness. So it's interdependent. So the kinder we are, the calmer we are. And the calmer we are, the kinder we are. So in this world, we have no choice. We must be kind. We must be kind.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You know, you realize, folks, this is almost 2 hours and it's flown by.
This has been such a joy. What a fun ride.
We've been swimming with the dolphins here, and we've been jumping for joy and dive into those waters and coming up just with blowing bubbles and being exuberant, and it's been absolutely beautiful. But I guess we need to bring it to a close, though I don't want to, but maybe we should.
Beautiful.
We are going to go out with that piece of music with you and the Earth, Wind and Fire, and you just let that elevate you, folks. You know, remember the answers lie within. It's just pause, stop, snap out of it. Snap into it. First one, snap out of it. Second one, snap into it. And now you're there.
That's right. We're vibrational beings.
Yes.
So we can, it doesn't take but a second. We can shift our vibration and we can find these little tricky, little put in your pocket. I'm going to have this, hold this for when I most need it. To pull out at a moment's notice when we are in the chaos, to pull it out and have a picture of a dolphin or have something that's going to shift your vibration.
Something that's going to bring you back to a smile, bring you back to heart center, right?
Just elevate yourself or encourage, like we were saying about giving. I think it's so important to remember that we are actually vibration. Sometimes we forget, but we are vibration.
We're
ourselves.
good vibrations.
Yes. Yes.
Boogie Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually had Robin Williams on from the Beach Boys. We've had him on a
We
few
did.
times. We had him on channel. When you talk about heart vibration, he actually has come up with an app that raises the frequency, and they have come up with a water that rechanges the frequency and the consciousness in the body. This is the thing. There are people out there doing something to help us on our way, help us to reconnect back to the soul and heart center of who we are meant to be as human beings on this planet. And here on Stuff Discovery Radio, we celebrate them. So before we play your music and sign out, would each one of you please tell us how people can find you, how they can be a part of it? So Michel, how do they find you,
Oh,
madam?
it's so simple. So my last book, it's Meditation for Daily Stress. So I have published 20 books in spirituality, and this is the last one in English. So you can find these books in Barnes and Nobles, Whole Food, Amazon, I mean, anywhere. Meditation for Daily Stress, 10 practices to feel better immediately. And you can go on my website. There are many videos, many classes online. All is free, because for me it was so important that it must be free. So the website is simple, michelpascal.tv. It's like a TV because we post a video every day. So michelpascal.tv.
Will you
And
spell
also,
that, please, darling? Will you spell that for the audience?
MICHELPASCAL.tv. Simple. It's my name, .tv. And also, I have my center. If you want to visit me in California, my center is on Catalina Island. Catalina, it's facing Los Angeles. We have 1 hour by boat, and we arrive on Catalina. Catalina, there is no car, no traffic. It's an island in the ocean, so pure. We have a lot of dolphin, whales, bison. So it's a retreat in the nature. There is my center, so you can come. And when I don't teach in my center, my friend Leslie Warner, she's the meditation teacher certified on the island. So I have trained Leslie during many months. She's an amazing meditation teacher every day in my center. And if you want to be meditation teacher certified on this new way of meditation, because we need teacher. I need teacher for the prisoners, for hospital, for school. I receive too much demands every day.
Yes.
So I have trained 17, 18 teachers now in many countries, in America, also in South of Africa, in Europe, in Asia, in many countries. But we need teachers certified on this way. You have all the details if you want to become a teacher. On my website, michelpascal.tv.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And soon I will give a concert in the center of Christina.
I would love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
I want to do that.
And the dolphins would join us. I know that they would, because the dolphins, they channel our human energy.
Of
They
course.
come around
Of
when
course.
they know, just like that dolphin came up for you, reached out of the water, and it was this spectacular show. They will do that for us when it's needed, or just to be swimming along.
Yes.
We go out. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You can find us at athella.org. We are a philanthropy giving organization. We give to 2 organizations, one for dolphin and whale conservation, and the other one is for the waterproject.org, which we're so happy about, giving to those who have to walk for water, and then clearing away these wells so that they can build more stable wells, and of course all the things that are associated with that. So it's Africa. It's a place where the water is, we're pouring a lot of energy into that, but all over the world really. So we'll be expanding our support for beautiful water that's been blessed. And this water is mainly, our planet is mainly water, so we're water, and this link to water is a part of our retreats. Actually, we get into the ocean, we meditate, we commune with the ocean, I should say. So it's just coming back to yourself. There's no magic here. The dolphins come to us. We're in kayaks. they come to us. There are teachers. The channeling that happens is very spontaneous. And we do go to the ruins and the sacred sites that the Mayans have left us here, and we channel that energy. It's mainly, though, the primary is to make it simple for people. It's the simplicity of quiet, long periods where there's silence, and our meditations, we allow for whatever material is going to come up, for it to come up. And then we can observe that. And so tools are included in this retreat experience, so that there's never any, I'm going to come here for a time and then I'm going to go home to my to my
chaos
world. And I'm excited to say too, we have just released a film that is called Tuning In, Angels and Aliens, and it's a sequel to a film called Tuning In, and it's coming out in August 2018. And the trailer is on our Facebook page and all of our social media. You can go to athella.org to find out more about this. It's a film about channeling, and it has 6 of the most prominent channelers on the planet. And you know, it's funny, they're all talking about the same thing. We're talking about peace.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
These beings are coming through human bodies to speak about this peace and channeling this love vibration, and for healing ourselves on the planet. So it's got great content, but I would also dare say the energy behind the messages is a journey. So please, I invite you all to go there. And I also want to thank you both, Michel and Sarah. I've been more quiet today because I've wanted to really absorb this
yes.
heartbeat vibration, this love. It's been wonderful to drink this nectar with you today. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you both very much. And remember, here's selfdiscoveryradio.com, and we are also stepping into NPO by the end of the month, where we're self-discovery community is opened up. You'll see more about that coming up, but it is about raising money to support other people's services from people that are here under their self-discovery radio umbrella. For the people who need them, who can't afford to get back on their feet, this is what we're going to be doing. And so that's the next chapter, along with another book, which is participants from our radio guests contributing a chapter, giving you this beautiful book of wisdom that goes along with the show, and the money raised for that goes into the kitty to afford services for people who can't afford them. So this is the cycle that we're constantly doing. So stay tuned more on Self-Discovery Radio. You'll see Self-Discovery Community coming up very, very soon. And I thank you both very much. This has been heart, soul, spirit, divine energy, absolutely wonderful. And thank you so much. And I enjoyed you so much last time, Michel, and it was so beautiful to have you back on again. And we're going to close out with your music, and just everybody get into the music, feel it. Don't be afraid to feel life. It's beautiful when you step into the feeling of life. You know, just every part of your body is awake, and it's wonderful. So step into it. So thank you so much, Michel and Christina.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We keep in touch for all.
Yes. There's obviously going to have to be another one down the road for sure.
And I send you the link immediately. I send you the link with the music on stage. You have a trailer of the last concert that we give in IMAX in LA.
Yes. Wonderful. Fantastic. So this is what we're going to close out with, folks. So enjoy. And until next time, folks, bye for now.
I want to present to you this amazing session. Today it's a sacred day. It's an amazing moment to play with my friend Myron McKinley. Myron is one of my best musicians in America.
Thank you so much.
He's a keyboard player, the music director of Earth, Wind and Fire. So it's amazing to come in a studio today and to say, we want to do a song to help you to be calmer. This is meditation for daily stress. I have written a book to help you to be calmer. How can I be calmer? Immediately, without effort. So when we play music, when we sing, this is meditation for daily stress. Because suddenly the music, it's after our intelligence, after our concept, after our religion, after all that we think, there is eternity. So Om Mani Padme Hum, it's a Tibetan mantra to say my mind is like a sky. My mind is pure. no thought, no fears, no doubt, no addiction, no clouds in my mind. My mind is clear. So it's an honor for me to play this melody and that Myron can play keyboards, arrange and create an amazing spiritual jazz symphonic orchestra with his fingers. Thank you so much.
O mani pe meu, o mani pe meu, o mani
For more wonderful shows like this, please go to selfdiscoveryradio.com, podcasts, and see our lineup. And if you wish to support us, we have a funded button. Please stay tuned for our next show.